Hey you guys, it's John here. Today we are going to go over all of the plants that we're planting in our garden this summer for fall blooms. I know it might seem crazy to be planting things outside right now when it's over 100 degrees, well at least here it's over 100 degrees every single day. Some days have been over 115. We've been watering everything quite a lot. Yeah, but summer is the best time to plant things for your fall container garden because the plants can get established, they can grow root systems, and they can just become a bigger plant so that when fall comes, they are just absolutely beautiful. So one of our favorite flowers to plant in our fall container garden are Solosias. So Solosias are extremely heat tolerant. All of these flowers can take the heat very, very well. But Solosias come in so many different forms. It always amazes me the different types of Solosias that are on the market now. But one of our favorite types are a Cooxcomb Solosia. We're growing two types of Cooxcombs this year. We're growing a Brainiac Cooxcomb, which only gets about 6 inches tall, which is perfect for our stair step bench. We don't like things that get too big on our stair step bench. So we are growing this variety called Brainiac Raven Red. It has this beautiful, deep, dark mahogany foliage with a beautiful red flower to it that is going to be so beautiful. I just absolutely love them. They kind of give that like coral reef spooky season vibe to it, and I'm obsessed with them. We are also growing a coxcomb called Twisted Orange. So this one's actually a branching coxcomb. Usually coxcombs are not branching at all, so it's insane that they've bred one to branch out, and this one's going to be orange, so I think it's going to pair so well with the darker foliage plants, the purple flowers, and everything else in the container garden. We're growing the Twisted Orange with the dark leaf on it, which I think is going to be absolutely beautiful. Dragon's Breath Solosia is another type of Solosia that we're growing. We're growing 4 different types. And this one is always everybody's favorite. It looks like the garden is on fire when I show people pictures of this flower, but it has just like this light, airy texture to it that is just unbelievable in the landscape. It is one of the last Solosias to bloom because it's triggered to bloom from the shortening of days. But even when it's not blooming, it has this beautiful like magenta red foliage to it that is just out of this world. So if I'm going to pick one Solosia, I would definitely pick a Dragon's Breath Solosia because just so beautiful. And last but not least, we have a Intense Solosia. It is a purple Solosia. That deep, dark, beautiful, rich purple color is a beautiful contrast with the orange, the gold tones, and then the mahogany foliage that we have in the garden at that time of year is absolutely beautiful. So the Intense has that wheat style Solosia bloom to it, and it has this beautiful growth habit to it that just gets nice and tall and it branches towards the top. I always get asked what the difference between a Ruby Parfait Solosia and a Intense Solosia. The Ruby Parfait has more branching at the base and the flowers are a little bit smaller, so it's a perfect one if you guys want a cut flower. The Ruby Parfait is the way to go. If you're looking for one that's great for a container or a landscape plant, I definitely recommend the Intense Solosia. And next on this list is a millet or grass. Fall is all about textures, and having that millet or grass is such a beautiful textural element in the garden, especially in the container garden. In years past, we would grow the Purple Majesty millet, and that one was so beautiful in our cut flower garden. Just had that beautiful dark foliage to it, that stalk, kind of like growing corn, the millet is. So it's really pretty to have in there. In the container garden in years past, we have grown a just a purple fountain grass, the pennisetum, and that has been absolutely lovely. And even when it starts to like turn brown a little bit, it's still really pretty because it's kind of fall. You know, you can have those dried, dying plant elements, not dying, but like plants are going to sleep soon, so it's kind of fun to have plants that look a little, I wouldn't say tired, but look a little worn. Gives that rustic vibe to it. So millet is number 2. Number 3 are zinnias. Zinnias are a great cut flower depending on the variety that you pick. We would always go when we had a cut flower garden. We would always grow the Queen Orange or Queen Lime series, but the Queen Orange specifically was just a beautiful autumnal color that was so gorgeous to add into all of our bouquets. We would also grow a ton of the Oklahoma sunflowers, the scarlets. The gold and Oklahoma salmon were a really pretty addition to our fall garden, just going more on the autumnal tones, so like the reds, the golds, the burgundies, the oranges instead of like the bright purples, the pinks, you know, like we'd go more autumnal. I think that palette is really pretty in the fall, kind of going with that seasonal color. I just love that. So that's typically the route that we go with the zinnias. And in our container garden, we're growing a lot of the Magellan salmon. I think salmon's really a versatile color. It kind of goes with spring, summer, and fall. So the salmon's just going to be a great color to have in our fall container garden. And then number 4 on this list are basil plants. So we don't grow a lot of basil in the container garden just because we don't really grow a lot of filler plants. Like basil's a filler flower, if you will, for like bouquets. We like to grow a lot of focal flowers and have a lot of just like big structural flowers in the container garden, but basil's a great element to have in any like bouquet arrangement if you're wanting to add a cut flower element to your garden. But we love cinnamon basil. Cinnamon basil is so beautiful. That smells good. It has that purple flower to it, and it's just beautiful. I love it. It's just a great addition to have that cinnamon scent brought into the house. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's just unmatched. Next on this list are sunflowers. Sunflowers are, they're actually native to the United States, specifically the Western United States, so they grow really well here. I would plant them weekly for best results. You have sunflowers all season long. So in the summertime, we'll plant a lot of autumnal tones. So like the pro cuts are one of our favorites because they don't shed. The pro cuts are a pollinous sunflowers, so they don't make a mess inside. They don't shed for you. We don't grow a lot of sunflowers in the container garden, primarily because they need to be succession planted so much. We usually plant that in the cut flower garden when we had our cut flower garden. So I would recommend planting the Pro Cut Red and the Pro Cut Bicolor. I think those are going to be super pretty for a fall sunflower for you. Marigolds are next on this list. They are a beautiful flower, you guys, and a lot of people don't think that you can plant them in the middle of the summertime, but you actually can. They are very heat tolerant, and they are the perfect flower for fall. Their colors are absolutely beautiful. The gold and the orange are some of our favorites. I love planting the cocoa marigolds. Those are the big, giant, beautiful ones. We did that when we had our cut flower garden. And I would definitely pinch them if you are growing these marigolds. But those were ready for us when we planted them. We would start seeds in July and transplant them outside in August. They were ready for Day of the Dead, and florists went absolutely crazy and loved having them. So we absolutely would recommend growing some marigolds. We grow the dwarf varieties, the French ones now, which are perfect for the container garden. Last year we did a Durango B, and that was absolutely beautiful. I think we're going to do that same variety again this year because it was so beautiful last year. And then last on this list is actually a amaranth. Amaranth are technically a grain, but there's so many different types of amaranth, and we always plant the red one, the dark burgundy one, and then the copper one, just because they go into fall with our fall autumnal tones so well. We plant the red spike and the hot biscuits, so those are perfect filler flowers to have in any arrangement, and they are absolutely gorgeous for Thanksgiving. We actually had them for our holiday arrangements, which were such a treat. They were so pretty to have in that time frame. And that's all the flowers that we're starting from seed. There's quite a few things that we do get from, not seed, but like starting from plugs, if you will. We have some things in our fall garden that we do start in the springtime. We don't necessarily start in the summer, but they're still great plants to have in your garden if you can find them at local nurseries or get them from your friends. Maybe you can get some for your garden as well. The first one being is Mahogany Splendor's Hibiscus. It's just a really great foliage plant. It's in the cotton family, so it's related to roselle, hibiscus, and of course cotton. So it tolerates the heat very well, but it has just this gorgeous Japanese maple-esque leaf to it. That's a divine addition to any fall container garden, and they do bloom for you. They require a long growing season to bloom, so they usually don't bloom for us until like November, maybe even December, but they're definitely really pretty. And by the end of the season, they're like 5-6 feet tall. So it's a great plant to have in the backdrop of your garden, just to give you some height there. The next one is Alterna. This one's a great option just for another dark, moody foliage option. I'm kind of sick of sweet potato vines at the end of the year, so sometimes I'm like, purple sweet potato vine, but alternate there, I kind of get that upright effect, which I think is great for this container garden. And they do well in smaller pots, so that's absolutely great. We put like 3 plugs in the 8-inch pot, so those absolutely beautiful, and they are propagated from cuttings really easy. So if you want to get a plant from the store, you can propagate it pretty easily. Next on this list are peppers. We usually start those in like April or May. And ornamental peppers are such a beautiful element to have in your fall garden. They just add such a beautiful texture. I think fall is for like those fruiting elements and just the harvest abundance, if you will. So we're growing 3 different types of peppers this year. We're growing the ones for the stair-step bunch, the short ones called Acapulco. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but we're growing the purple one. So it's going to have a purple foliage with red and purple peppers to it. And then we're growing a Acapulco dark orange. So it's going to have purple and orange peppers to it. That one's going to be pretty. We grew that one last year and it was divine. And then we're growing 2 bigger style peppers. One has a purple foliage to it with red berry peppers to it. That one's red onyx. And then we're growing Sedona Sunset. These ones are like tiny peppers with orange and yellow peppers to them. So those are going to be really pretty to have in the container garden. I see ornamental peppers all over the nurseries, typically in like late summer or early fall here in our area. So you could definitely pick them up then if you're interested in getting some ornamental peppers. We keep all of our seedlings on the side of our house, so we'll pop them up into containers and then put them on the east side of our house so that they get protected from that hot afternoon sun. We want to make sure we get these plants off to a really good start. So giving them that morning gentle sun is absolutely perfect for them. That's all they need. They don't need a full day length full of sun, especially the seedlings. You know, you could move them into more sun as they get established, or maybe use a shake off. I think that would be a really good option for them. And then we feed them consistently. Even Solosias and Zenyas, when they're in containers, really anything when it's in containers, it's getting watered so much that the soil gets leached out. The minerals from the soil gets leached out very quickly, so we always give a low dose fertilizer very consistently just so that they can stay growing, and they grow very quickly. I think last year we tested out some zinnias that we started from seed in June, and they were blooming from seed to bloom within 51 days. The seed packet said 75 days. So I think the combination of the heat and maybe a little bit of fertilizer makes things grow so quickly, so you will have a beautiful garden in no time if you plant things in the middle of the summertime. So anyways, you guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it very informative. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.